afternoon, class. Before we proceed to our next topic, Mr. Baudin, please lead a prayer. Okay, class, stand up. Thank you for that prayer, Mr. Baudin. Okay, class, before we start our discussion, who is our secretary? Please take note the absent for this afternoon. Okay, before we start our topic for today, I will show you a video relating to our topic for this afternoon. So let's begin.
Hello, I'm Matthew Encina. I'm a Filipino American born and raised in LA. I studied graphic design at Art Center in Pasadena, and I've been a creative professional for over 15 years, directing, designing, and animating for some pretty awesome clients. Over the past few years, I've discovered my passion for teaching others, so I love to share what I've learned and experienced in the form of videos, words, and as a speaker on stage. I'm a kid who never really grew up. I love to dance, rock climb, and spend time with my dog Chewy. I waste way too much time playing video games. I spend all my money on camera gear and tech, and I cannot function without a good cup of coffee in the morning. That's me in a nutshell. Feel free to reach out and introduce yourself. I love making new friends.
Okay, class, who can tell me about what is our topic for today? Yes, Miss Kalunsag, please. Very good, Miss Kalunsag. Our topic for today is about arts and creative literacy. Now, we will have an activity and this will relate on arts and creative literacy. I want you all to, I want to request, um, before we proceed, I am Raston Rizal Rosales and your your teacher for today, and also we have here Mr. Ashlane M. Sali and also Miss Renafren Sarsa. So at the end of the lessons, the students should be able to define arts and creative literacy, understand 7 habits of highly creative people, compare and contrast the visual and verbal creativity, generates idea and apply their own creativeness. Appreciate the value of art and creativity through drawing. So let's proceed. Uh, Before we start, I want you to all to request to close your eyes. Imagine a place where you are at peace, feel safe, relaxed. You might be on beach or seashore, river, forest, or in a mountain. Imagine what you would do and make an art. You relax, enjoy the time, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now, class, I want you to open your eyes. I want you to open your eyes. how do you find the activity, class? Okay, class, how do you find the activity? Yes, Miss Basan? Yeah, it's quite interesting. You're right. Uh-huh. Discover this unique activity, right? Very well said, Miss Basan. Now, I want you to imagine, what would you become in the future, Miss Basan? Oh, you want to become a teacher. So, how would you empower others to protect your safe place that you imagine at our activity? How would you empower others to protect your safe place for the next generation? Very well said, Miss Basan. Miss Basan said that giving them a power of knowledge and nurture them on why we need to protect our mother nature is one of the key values that Miss Basan would want to imply to her future students. Now, we will proceed to our main topic. Arts and creative literacy is a process of having original ideas that have value, is the ability to see the world in new ways. Creative individuals exhibit the ability to switch between different modes of thinking, shift their mental focus that connects between creativity and dynamic interactions of brain. Arts and creative literacy, this is the focus that connects between all creativity and dynamic interactions of brain. Um, all of the all of what we are doing and what we are doing in everyday life is a form of arts and creativity. But we need to have this creativity literacy for us futures teachers will imply to our future students to be also a creative and art literate. Next, arts and creative literacy also act of turning new imaginative ideas into reality. Ability to perceive world in new ways, think, then produce a combinatorial force, which is to taps into one's inner pool of resources. The process of bringing something new into beings that requires passion and commitment. It begins with a foundation of knowledge, learning a discipline, and mastering a way of thinking. Act turning new imaginative ideas into reality. This is when we are saying that we are thinking for ways of what we will do. For example, in our IMs, we are sitting down, thinking and making an imagination of how we will do it. We will think, then we will produce it. And we will see also the another techniques, another ways to create this in a new ways. Imagining ideas may be tapped in our inner 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 source, our inner hearts of what we need to what we want really, what we love really love to do, and to share that the arts and creative that we in ourselves are doing, or we want to express what we really want to do. Now, there are several types of arts. These are some performing arts, which includes dancing, singing, theater, and we have also literary arts, which is the poems, the and others. We have also the applied arts. Applied arts are these arts are um, the engineers, the doctors, that what they're studying and they applied it into the worlds. The media arts, we have also the media arts, the on how we are, for example, is blogging. Um, we have also um, we have also media arts. These are the bloggings, other social media platforms, the culinary arts. We have um, the fruit carving, the plating, and other stuff related into foods. Also the crafts. The crafts are these are the statues, the wood carving, and others. Also, we have digital and visual arts. As what we can see now, right now, the digital is making PowerPoints, making layouting for a T-shirt and others. Now, we have here also arts and creative literacy is the ability to generate creative and innovative ideas. It's not merely function of the mind, but also a function of five key behaviors that optimize brain for discovery. So, here are the five key behaviors that optimize brain for discovery. We have the number one, associating or drawing connections between questions, problems, ideas from unrelated fields. Exploring connections to others by asking questions to them, thinking another, making problems into instead of dealing with problems, you make a solution on it, and etc. Questioning or posing queries that challenge common wisdom. For example, here, questions that you might want to ask to someone, making you an art will make you an art. For example, uh, you question would be the world, what would be the world if there is a full what will be your place if there are full of snow, which is here in the Philippines there is no snow. So you imagine it, you innovate it, and have by that question you're making an idea on how you would like to draw or make something to have to attain your goals or to attain what you want, what you are questioning. It gives you idea for it. Next, we have observing or scrutinizing the behavior of others to identify new ways of doing things. Observing others on how they will act, how they move, how they do it. For example, particularly example for this is dancing, on how others dance. You're observing it, you scrutinize every moves, and now you are making your own moves. For example, this is for example you're dancing, you're copying moves in TikTok, but since you cannot copy everything what you have seen, you also do an innovative moves to make you unique. Next, networking or meeting people with different ideas and perspectives. Networking or meeting people is just like socializing to them, taking a taking or queuing for an idea for you for you so you can create an arts and ideas and also different perspectives that might need or help you to make an art. We have also here the experimenting or constructing interactive experiences and provoking responses to see what insights emerge. Experimenting on, for example, an art of doing and experimenting, experimenting with different types of colors, mixing them, and making an art out of it. By experimenting, you are thinking out of the box and doing something new for you to create art that you really want or love. That's all. So now let's proceed to the next. We have here the 7 habits of highly creative people. Number one, we need to prepare for the ground, plant seeds for creativity, live in the question, feed your brain, experiment and explore, replenish your creative shop, liberate your creativity. Number one, prepare for the ground. Creativity requires an absorbed mind, a relaxed state of focus and attention by giving the self sufficient time and space needed. For example, that we do earlier on our activity, I request you to close your eyes to imagine things for you to have an absorbed mind, a relaxed state and focus and attention by giving the self-sufficient time and space needed for you to create an art. Next, to plant seeds for creativity. It is important to put attention on what you want to create, not on complaints, and set intentions to produce the desired results on it. You are planting seeds, not literally seeds, but ideas on your mind for you, ideas on your mind. And also, for example, ideas of mind is, um, you're planting an ideas on your mind by scrutinizing others also, by looking, observing, and uh, scrutinizing the environment, observing the environment, you create it. You're planting seeds on it, on what you really want to do. Now, we don't want to focus on complaints, but still, for these complaints, we focus really on the solutions to set an intention to produce the desired results. Number three, live in the questions. Live in the questions. Ask questions instead of trying to find immediate answer. Don't jump into conclusion right away. Ask questions for those who knows how did they do, how did they done it. You need to ask questions. Don't jump on the conclusion because it might end you to frustration. Don't be afraid, don't be shy on asking questions. Thus, questioning others gives you knowledge and power to create um to create to be a highly creative. Next, you must feed your brain, get interested in something that later can provide you wisdom and ideas. Feed your brain, attend seminars, attend seminars and other stuff that might really but that might need you on the future for you to provide wisdom and ideas for your artwork. Number five, experiment and explore. Follow your curiosity, experiment with ideas, and learn from your mistakes. Just like a child, we are exploring ourselves into what we need. We are exploring ourselves. At the end of it, it might give us a new form of uh, product. Just like, for example, the medicine of um, the antibiotic, which is the penicillin. It was um it was a mistake it was a mistake, but yet it now became a popular medicine for curing something on it. It It is because of the yeast. I think of that yeast don't uh don't come to that specific type of chemical, so it avoids the penicillin will be the antibacterial. Next, we have here number 6. Replenish your creative stocks. You must learn to be self-nourishing and translate talent, skills, and hobbies into wonderful potential. You need to search, view some videos watch videos, also attend seminars. For example, on it is not is just doing a bouquet, right? The normal bouquet the normal bouquet is made of flowers, but nowadays a bouquet is a creative. They make it more creative. A bouquet made of chocolates now, a bouquet made of money, and and others. This is the how did they do it? They replenish their creative stocks. They don't stand, or they don't just stable on stick on what perception. They make it, they innovate something it into it to be more attractive and be and creative. Next, liberate your creativity. Your child's play provides the clue to your creativity, potentials, and passion. Did you observe while playing Legos? Number one example of it is playing Legos. Lego. Legos. They are stacking it. They are imagining they are making it a building. They are making airplane on it from it. They're making some other stuff to create something, an art. This is a child's mind. Child's mind. Be a child. Be more playful. Be more passionate. Passionate. Be because child's mind is one of the most uh liberate thinking that they can are imagine something onto it. The child's mind is doing the child's mind is doing um the child is creating an idea which is nowadays adults doesn't do anymore. Next, now let's go to eye-hand coordination or hand-eye coordination. I have a ball here. As this ball throws into you, do you think you can catch it right away? Now, if you didn't catch it right away, now I now explain you why. Eye-hand coordination or hand-eye coordination, it is the coordinated control of eye movement with hand movement and the processing of visual input to guide reaching and grasping along with the use of proprioception of hands to guide the eyes. For as what a normal person sees when something is approaching to them, or for example, a ball is thrown to them, the eye sees it and directs sends a neurons to the brain. Then now brain controls our hand to grab or to catch that ball. Those neurons, if the brain send a message to the hand, but yet you didn't catch the ball, The your brain is what do we call the slow message input, slower message input of it. So that's why you didn't catch the ball, because the brain sends message too slow for and react aggressively. It is important for a child development and academic success, which is equally important among adults to use in countless activities on a daily basis. For a child, the most for a child or an infant, it is the most essential one, the most important one is for the child to know how to grasp or touch or hold something, for the as what we can say that our child is normal. It is a development that needs until we that needs to develop and useful to it, even when you are say, getting old. Most adults must have this important quality. It is the basic but the most important, which is the grasping, the touch, and others. Next. Now, let's call Miss Rena Sarsa for the next topic, and she will continue about the eye-hand coordination discussions. That's all. Thank you.